Alright, welcome to Oxygen Not Included. I'm Major Freak. So, chapter 16, I think we're at. Wow. So, we passed the cycle 50 mark. It's a good thing our dupes don't age. Do they age? Pretty sure they don't die off on us. unlike the animals. Okay, they're immortal. Okay, great. I have a problem. I know there's a way, and I went out and looked on the tutorials out there that I could find. I found one pretty quick. And I wanted to make sure that any overflow, like if it gets backed up, once it gets backed up, that it goes this way instead of going both directions. I'm assuming this is going to be split half and half. I don't really want that. I'm totally fine with it kind of overflowing here. I'm totally fine with it backing up, because I've discovered that it will increase the volume of water in this quote-unquote self-contained loop. It's not actually self-contained because it just generates its own water and eventually will backflow with polluted water all the way to here. And that's bad. So luckily I didn't deconstruct all this, because I knew Murphy's Law was going to strike, because this is just a Murphy's Law simulator. Alright, so I've got it split up, but I want this to continue as a... I could leave it like this, I suppose. I just want to do it smart, right? I want to do it right the first time I learn how to play this game, because I know you can do it with an overflow. I want to learn how, and I'm going to force myself to learn how. And I went and checked out one of the tutorials. Eventually, I saw one of his videos. It was about sewage and plumbing, but I'd already gotten somebody else to cover that, so I didn't need to see that. What I wanted to do is find out if he talked about plumbing, and he did. And within 10 minutes, just past the 10-minute mark, he got to it. 10:20. I'm watching his video. I'll probably watch all hour of it. Yeah, this is probably just going to be an interlude between chapter 15 and 16. But I'm going to watch all of it, and while I do so, I'll make chapters for him, because it's, as a YouTube creator, making chapters is so tedious, because you've got to watch your own video, and if you know the subject very well, like if I watched my entire series from the beginning to make chapters, or just, it would be entertaining, because I'm learning stuff at the time, and rewatching this will really help me go, oh man, I know I should have done that first, and then it sparks interest in watching. But somebody like this knows their subject back and forth, and it's like a YouTube creator. I know how tedious making chapters can be when you know the subject back and forth. Like, say, EVE Online, I know it so well, I do it because it's a service to to viewers, but at the same time, it's so tedious. And I know he had his heart in the right place. He hasn't got to it yet. It's been a year, and I know, So I'm sorry, I'm digressing. It's tedious. So I'm making it for him as I go along. Yeah, he talks about it real well. I'll just play it till my aha moment, and you'll understand what I mean.
All right, next example, let's talk about a couple of tricks you can do to distribute things in certain ways. So I have a setup here that's just a, room of water, nothing super special. Let's say I have a bunch of different sources here, and this is going to be not super, visibly, obvious example, but I want to show you some tricks you can do with piping. So what I could do is I could hook all these things up like this, But let's say I wanted these two to be filled up entirely before these two get filled up. There can be reasons to do that, and I want to show you the best way to do that without having to micromanage the pipes. Instead of drawing a line that's just down like this will distribute it pretty evenly between all of them. Instead, what I would do is I would build a bridge. I would take the bridge and I would put it here to kind of intercept the flow from the pipe and to be going down this line until these are all entirely full and satisfied. And let's just go ahead and set this.
And it was at that moment that I went, aha. And that was the aha moment. He didn't really explain it further because he didn't need to. That bridge is different than splitting. And as you saw in an example, yeah, I mean, he did an even split. He went split once and then split twice. And then split the first split again. And he said that's even flow. And that got the image of, okay, I can... So I assumed that, yes, if you split it, you'll get an even distribution. And that's what I was noticing, and that's what I was assuming was going to happen. Because I hadn't really paid attention, but I was like, yeah, that's probably going to split, both ways and half it. And when he did the bridge, it wasn't anything fancy. There wasn't any... Because I've seen combinations where they have two bridges, and they combine it in a really tight packed thing, and I haven't done that yet. My brain hurts looking at stuff like that. But this concept is, as soon as you put a bridge in and you split something with a bridge, it's going to go into the bridge first. I'm like, so as soon as that fills up, apparently.
This up so you can see it running. So what you'll see is that this will intercept it because it's on the same line, and it will all travel down the first intake it gets to, and it won't stop until all these are totally full. So let's say I went ahead and filled up this entire room with water. Eventually these things will get backed up and not be able to flow anymore once the pressure gets too high. Once that point happens, these inputs or intakes will all be entirely satisfied, and it will start to bypass this because these are all up to par. It's up to what they need. So they're going to start getting blocked up, and that's when you're going to start getting the flow bypassing it once these things are like, okay, cool, I'm satisfied. And now it's going to pass it to go somewhere else. So that's definitely a trick you can use with these bridges, is to force which way something is going. You can also do this if you have a second source. So let's make a second water source.
Cool, yeah, I mean, if you want to see the rest of the tutorial, I'll link it in the description. But yeah, that was my aha moment of, oh, that makes it a lot simpler. Because the only concept I had was that double bridge combo mush thing. That looks really cool. But my brain just hurts looking at it right now. I know Francis John splits it up in examples to show you and then compacts it. But yeah, having the concept of all I need is a bridge, that's going to be perfect. And how do I apply it here? Well, it's kind of handy because the pipes are empty right now. Let's see, is anybody... I've got 2 shifts before something happens. 2 blocks of time. Alright. So I need a bridge. But I need the bridge to go into here first. Not here. So how would I do that? If I had a bridge, right? And it's going to go into there. So I'd need it. But I need the bridge, the split to happen at the white, not the green. Because I'm pretty sure if I put it in at the, yeah. So, how do I do that? Can't put it, I could put it there, but then I'd have to split it here. It would kind of make things messy, but This is all industrial, so I won't really worry about it. And I'll deconstruct that, because I won't need it, and I won't need this. And then I just make this, I guess, here. Yeah. And that would mean that that it's going to ignore this until this is full. And of course I'll prioritize the hell out of this. Let's do that quickly. Why aren't you? Oh. What? There we go. Okay. And hopefully that can get done before the schedule needs to do its thing. Hopefully. Go, Ellie. I think we might be able to do it. I think we're going to be able to do it. Great. Right on. Okay. And he goes. Go, go, go. I think that's Bubbles. Go, Bubbles. Go, Bubbles. Go, Bubbles. Whoop, whoop. Alright. So... Wow, awesome. Will I get one last one going that way? I'll eventually get one last one. Obviously it works, so that's really good. Wow, that is so cool. I learned something new. Yay. Yeah, that was really bugging me. It was like, I know there's a way I could let it split, but I want to do it smart. You know, this is, it just helps me, and now I understand it more. Like, I knew something that could be done, but instead of just applying it rote, I got to understand it. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's it from me.